Yes. Okay, so we are, now there's important points here that we need to pay attention to. The words are draw accurately, okay, is one thing to consider, that's not done very well, or construct. Alright, so they're two different things. Right? Constructing and drawing accurately. So I've said here, when you construct, right, if it says in a question, construct a triangle, you are going to use a compass.
A protractor and a ruler.
Okay? If you are drawing accurately, you will use a ruler and a protractor, no compass necessary. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to do both. Alright, we're going to go through the examples, and maybe you can see why, which ones you would do. Right. So, are you with me? Now this is going to be difficult for me on the board. I've only got sort of small protractor, compass and pencil myself. So I'm going to have to try and do it. I can't show you on the board, although it would be really nice if I could. Actually, you might be able to find a video of it somewhere.
Yeah, but then you could get a massive protractor that you move around.
Yeah, I used to have one, but because we're now on this board, it's a bit different. I need to find a proper electronic one. I did have one at the time before with the old board, but you could do it electronically. Move it around. I need to find. Right, can I get you? Right, what we're going to do first is we are going to do the first one. We're going to draw accurately a triangle. So we actually don't need our compass yet. So what we're going to need is our ruler. Right? Now the ruler is not just for drawing straight lines, it's to make sure we can measure. Okay? So we need to be able to measure this time. So you must have a ruler. Alright? Don't need a big one, you've got a small one there if you've not brought your stuff with you. Okay? Depends how long it is and how big the triangle is. So if you turn in your book to page 82 for me, please. Okay. 82. Page 82. Right. We are going to look at exercise 1, question 1. Right. Now there are 4 triangles. All right.
What do we do with them?
So I think that's an older book. Just one from last year rather than brand new. Right, so what we're going to do is there are 4 triangles. We're going to look at question 1A and 1D. Now we're going to do 1D first. Question 1D. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a little sketch to show roughly what it is. But this is not drawing accurately. This is just rough sketch so that we know what it looks like and so you know what we're trying to produce, but accurately. Alright? Now maybe you'll tell me afterwards why we can use a protractor for this one, okay? Whereas the next one we do, you can't. So, what we're going to do is we're going to draw this out. So what we know, we're going to try and draw it accurately, and then we're going to try and measure what that length is. Okay? And then we're going to measure what these angles are. And this is called solving a triangle, by finding all the missing lengths and angles. Now here's the thing. To get it right, your triangle that you draw accurately has to be accurate. If you're a bit slapdash with it, a bit sort of careless with your ruler, if your pencil's not very sharp and so on and so forth, you will not get the right answers at the end. And that's how in a question in an exam, for instance, you would be penalised. Right? Because you might do the right method, but if you don't do it well, the values that you then have to read off your triangle will be wrong. So you'll lose all those marks. Right, even though you do the right thing. Just about that. Okay, so here's the thing. to draw accurately,
Can we write that?
well, this is what you're going to do now. You're going to do the draw accurately thing. So you don't need to do that. You're going to end up with the right triangle. Okay? So, what we do, now we have here some important information, and the information is we know 2 of the sides, and we know an angle. So what we can do is use that information to draw accurately. So the first thing we do, well, any ideas what you would do using that information? Ryan?
I would draw 5 centimeters.
Yeah, exactly. Take your ruler, and I know my triangle, because I've got it in front of me, a rough sketch, is going to be like that. So I'm not going to draw a 5 centimetre line right up here. I'm going to move down a bit, and I'm going to draw a 5 centimetre line. Now, oh, wrong thing from me, right? You guys, obviously I'm just randomly drawing it, right? But you are going to measure using your ruler. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put 5. But you need to measure with your ruler. So that will be very, how do you measure and how well you draw. Even this first line is all matters. It all matters. So first of all, draw yourself a 5 centimetre line. Okay? 5 centimetre line. Yes, right.
Sure.
To just check whether my line is low enough, I might use my ruler, and I know this length has to be 5 as well. So I might just measure sort of from the line straight up to check that I've got enough space, 5 centimetres. And if I haven't, maybe I need to move it down. But I'm not going to guess where it's going to be. Okay? So I've done one line of 5 centimetres.
Yes.
Alright?
Wait, but the second one is slightly slanted.
It is. So if I measure straight up, I know I've definitely got enough room. Yeah?
But how
So I'm not saying it is going to be straight up, just checking I've got room.
No, but what I mean is, how do we know how far?
Okay, well that's the next thing, isn't it? Right? What are we going to use now?
I got my question.
Go on then, what is your...
We use a protractor.
You use your protractor.
And
you
measure the angles. Such a
Yeah.
120 degrees.
So you put, again, this would be nice to have an electronic protractor. You put 0 on that point of your protractor. So if I do a rough sketch of a protractor, so I've got my line about, right, here's my protractor. Okay. If I put my 0 on there, okay, and it should say somewhere on this scale, it will say 0. And then I need to read around until I get to the 120. And then I can put a mark, like we did when we were doing that. Alright?
Do I draw the line?
So, well, you know, it's just like drawing an angle from before. So once you've put your mark, but how long should the line be?
5 centimeters.
5 centimetres. So then we kind of do that from there out, and we do it 5 centimetres. You measure it again. Got to be very, very spot on. Just got to be really careful. Okay, it's absolutely spot on.
So like this.
Yeah. So you go around, find the 0, round to 120. So it's on that line. So put a line there.
You do that.
So yeah, so obviously, well, actually, we can put a little mark in saying, well, that's 120 degrees. Yeah. I'm just going to delete mine. My protractor's gone, like yours. It's not there anymore.
I might have already found out.
Yeah. Oh.
I knew it. I knew
You
it.
knew it was going to get there. Yeah, that's right. I've got back. Okay. So I've got my 2 lines. I've done the information I've got, which is 5 centimetres, 5 centimetres, 120 degrees. So we made sure that we measured this one, 5 centimetres. We measured 5 centimetres at the correct angle. So the only thing left to do is connect the lines. So we go, again, very accurately from there. Oh.
This is so much fun.
What? What?
Did you just say I knew that? That would be great.
Now, here's the big test. What you have to do now.
We're going to have a test.
No. Is a test of your skills. You need to measure that side.
Wait.
You need to measure these two angles, and we'll compare. So
I
you
got
can-
0.8 for that massive line.
0.8.
No, 8.5. Sorry.
So you
8.6.
reckon the side is 8.5? You reckon 8.6? Anyone else?
8.7.
You think 8.7?
8.7.
Well, there's no point you measuring yours, checking his.
Oh my god, 8.4, sorry.
Yours was 8.4.
Mine was 8.8.
Yours was 8.8.
Oh my god. 8.4.
8.3.
8.5.
8.3.
8.7. Oh my gosh! This is Matrix!
Now, the thing is, here's the thing, right? That's the minimum someone got. That's the maximum. That's like half a centimetre difference.
How do you get
If you look at half a centimetre on your ruler, that's quite big.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh my god.
So if you think, how wrong, I mean, I don't even know what the correct answer is, because I have to construct it myself. But you can see how it's just little errors. Now, here's the thing. If you make an error
I
on
got 9.
both lines and the angle, all right, you will have 3 errors all adding up to make this final one wrong. Now, the thing is, in an exam, in a test, something like this, there will be a range of possible answers accepted. So you don't have to be spot on. But it might say, for instance, that you're allowed anywhere between 8.5 and 8.9. That's just a guess, I don't know. But it might give you but it definitely wouldn't be half a centimetre. It'd be like plus or minus 1 or 2 millimetres. Okay? So that's the thing. That's why we're practicing now.
So if it's 8.6 or 8.5? We have
So
to measure the angle.
If the actual answer was 8.6, according to the examiner, right, you would be allowed 8.5 or 8.7, but you might not be allowed 8.4 and 8.8. Definitely not 9, if that's what you got.
No, I got 8.8.
Okay, right, so you can see how the more accurate you are, the better. Right, the next one we're going to do, so you've done the measuring and protractor one, which is good.
Yeah.
The next one we're going to do is, if we have a look at question 1A this time,
It's 8
Right.
centimetres.
what do you notice about 1A compared to 1D? What's different about it? Same on.
It tells you all the lengths of the court, like the.
Tells you all the lengths, but what does it not tell you?
The degrees.
Yeah, the degrees.
So there are no angles. So
So
that,
you have to make the angles.
right, so how would you measure an angle if you're not told an angle?
You use your protractor.
But a protractor is only good if you know the angle.
Yeah, guys, this is a protector.
Just measure it on the book.
But that's not to scale. Do you remember that whole thing?
Oh,
It's not
yeah,
to
yeah.
scale.
But it
Okay.
doesn't even say. Well, we do the 8. Oh no.
Now here's the thing, guys. The thing is, you can't have a guess. But this is where this little baby comes in.
Baby.
Compass.
Baby.
Now, a compass does a job. Does anyone know? Be careful because I'm going to go, not right. Does anyone know the job of a compass? No.
What? Oh, to make an angle.
No.
To measure an angle.
No.
To dance on an
No.
angle.
The thing is, it's a bit of a, I'm being a bit mean. A compass does make a circle.
Yeah.
But that's not its job. A compass is designed so that a pencil tip will always stay the same distance away from the point of the compass. So that's why it's very important that you put your pencil in correctly. Now, it just so happens that if a pencil maintains the same distance from the point of the compass and you draw, the result is a circle. Alright? But we actually need to use the fact that we know the distance of the pencil rather than just it's a circle. So here's the thing. This is how it is. So can you set up your compass? Now you set it up such that when it's closed, the tips point at each other. Not like some people do, just shove your pencil in and it overlaps. It doesn't do that, right? Check that when you bring your pencil in, the tips of the compass and your pencil in it point at each other.
Done.
Otherwise it doesn't. Where you're pointing, man?
Jamaican.
Right, so it doesn't, I mean, like I said, it's not, it's got to be perfect, but it's got to be near enough. Okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start this procedure the same way that we did before. So that you need to draw the first line,
7 centimeters.
whichever one you want to choose.
I chose 7. You
So,
protractor.
I'm going to draw, I'm going to do, well, which one do you want to do?
7 centimeters.
You want to draw the 7. Okay,
The
fine.
8 and 4, the 8 and 4.
We're going to draw the 7. So, what we're going to do is, using your ruler, you are going to draw a 7 centimeter line.
I thought so.
Exactly. It has to be. That's the measuring done, right? So you've got to measure a 7 centimeter line, and it needs to be drawn 7 centimeters.
Doesn't matter which angle. Like,
No, it doesn't actually matter because it just means the triangle will look in a different place.
Oh.
But you've got 7 centimeters. Alright. To be spot on. As careful as you can. Alright? Now, here's the thing. What people then try and do is if they know that there's no angle, we don't know the angle, but what we know is one side has to be 4, the other side has to be 8. So what they try and do is have a bit of a guess using their ruler and they match it and they kind of, maybe, and they mess around, right? But this is where your compass comes in. I need to know where can a line be. If I start at this corner here, I know this line has got to be 8 centimeters, this has to be 4. But what I want to say is, well, where is up? What angle am I going to go at? It could be lost before I get it right. So this is where the compass comes in. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to draw my 8 centimeter line. I'm going to open my compass to
8 centimeters.
8 centimeters.
Oh, I
Because
get
I need
this.
to keep the pencil 8 centimeters. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to use my ruler very carefully. Right? Put your ruler down. Make sure point to point is 8 centimeters. Okay?
Done.
Again, be exact.
Done.
Be careful.
That's my 8
You
centimeters.
done it? Got 8 centimeters?
77.
Okay, then what we do is this. We put the point of your compass
There.
at this point here.
Okay.
Right. My next tip is hold your compass by that top bit, not the pencil. And we don't need to draw heavily with the compass. But what you're going to do is, at that point, I know the line comes here somewhere. So I'm going to have my compass out and it's going to draw a line, an arc. And I'm going to draw a bit of an arc. It's going to go around like that. So an arc is part of a circle. Now obviously mine's a bit rubbish, but try not to hold the end of the pencil, just hold the top of the compass. It doesn't need to
Like
be a
this?
heavy line, just a gentle line. Yeah, just like that. Yeah. Yeah, like that. So just draw an arc. Doesn't need to be anywhere particular. You'll know if you've done it right when we do the next bit.
Like this.
So this is moving. But it's moving.
That's far too far, isn't it? That's 8 centimetres. That's more than 8 centimetres.
This more.
No, that should be alright.
So, wait.
Just draw an arc round. So it's going to be underneath, isn't it?
Look, it isn't.
Yeah, I would probably, just my tip is come up a bit further round. Just because I know the next one's got to be 4 centimetres. So it's got to start at there. and then you do it. Now that's where it is. Okay. Everyone all right? You got it? Yeah, looks right now. Some of you, they should all look pretty much the same. So yours doesn't. Oh, no, it is right. I think probably all right. Yeah, yours might need to come around a little bit further. Well, you'll see why in a minute if you've not done it. So I think your arc, right? So this is called an arc. Will come around. I think it needs to come up a bit. It should be longer, right? Now the next thing is I know that the next line will go from here somewhere on this arc.
They have to do 4 centimeters. With another
There you go. So before I know,
because then it'll do like a crossing, and then you'll have the 10.
exactly. So what I do next is from this end, we need to do another one, another arc, which is 4 centimeters. So now change your compass to be 4 centimeters.
I'm done.
And then do an arc from this one. And what you'll see is
They cross.
they will cross.
They will?
They will.
Yeah, that's the point.
Wait. Oh yeah.
Now look, I have a.
So that's where you will then, if they don't cross, you might need to make one of yours a bit longer.
Like that.
Yeah, like that.
Boom.
And where they cross, actually I think mine probably needs to be right. Right, so it's probably going to be like
a
that.
little lower. I can't
Right.
take it.
Yeah, exactly like that. So when they cross, okay, that point there. Now here's the thing, guys. Are we all paying attention? Because this is an important point. This point here is 4 centimeters away from that one, which is what I need, and it's 8 centimeters from here, which is what I need. So then what I can do is join this point to that point, and then join this point
Yes.
to that point, and I should get the right triangle.
Yep. Maybe.
Now, what you're going to do to check, let's see how good you all have been, you need to measure the 3 angles.
Yeah.
Tell me what
Now
the
to
angles
rub.
are.
Could we rub the arcs?
Right, actually, no. There's one thing. I want you to write this down, actually.
Okay.
In an exam, this is true. No arcs equals no marks.
Really?
Because if the question says construct, and I don't see any arcs, I don't see proof that you've constructed them. I only see that you might have guessed and got it right.
So we have to leave them there.
So you have to leave the arcs. Now that's why I say don't make them too hard, heavy, and dark. They don't need to be. I just need to be able to just see them. All right? They are not necessary for what the triangle looks like, but they are necessary to show me. All right? All right?
But would you usually get the mark? Or
No, nothing. No arcs, no marks. Now what I
Hold
need
it
you to do,
down. No, it's with that.
come on guys, measure your 3 angles. Let's see what you come up with.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Where are you going over?
Here comes
Right, one thing to say. There will, again, if you're measuring angles, there will be a range of possible answers. But one thing must be true.
No more.
Do you remember what we did last lesson? If you add
Not to scale.
what do all the angles have to add up to?
180.
180. And if you do 3 different angles and they don't add up to 180 degrees,
You did it wrong.
there's something wrong. Okay?
Or table did it wrong.
I got something.